Hello? Hello? What time is it? Am I too early? Let me go.
Power Pack by Trace Minerals. You're probably familiar with Emergen-C, which gives you 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
Hello, hello.
Hi, good evening, Primo. It's Khalid.
Khalid.
Good evening, Linda. I heard you, but I was away from the computer for a bit.
No worries. You're good. I was too. Getting some new batteries for my mouse.
Got it.
Good shape. How are you, Khalid?
Doing well. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. Weather's nice. I wish I was outside.
Nice, nice. You got some time outside?
Not much, to be honest. Mostly, to run a quick errand, but not really to enjoy the weather.
Yeah, I hear you. Same here.
Yeah, but that's what the weekends are for. How about you? Everything's all right with you?
Yeah.
Good.
Everything's all right. Busy week for me, but that's okay. My last week of graduate school. I'm going to a new job, so.
Yeah, well, congratulations, man. Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Linda, how are you? You with us? Hanging out, waiting. Rose, Tyler, hello.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Hi, Primo.
Hey, hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I feel like I haven't seen you on this meeting in a month because I didn't come to the last one, but I've seen you on our block a few times. So
That's true. I just sent you an email too. Hopefully you can, if you're free, think about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Rose, hello. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Mr. Lozana. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to have some youth in the meeting. You can call me Primo for sure. No need to call me Mr. Lozana. I appreciate it though.
All right.
How are you? How's your day? How's school going?
Well, I'm good. School is cool. Can't complain. I have a lot of finals coming up, but I'm trying to stay on the clock and get everything where it's supposed to be.
Great.
And finish the semester.
What grade are you in, or where do you go to school?
Well, I am in college. This is my first semester as a sophomore. In my sophomore year. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on, making it through your sophomore year. It's got to be a tough year to be in college.
It is. It certainly is. But as you know, I still have junior and senior here to go through. So,
That's right. Where do you go to school?
well, why not go to school at York College? But I'm thinking of transferring to City Tech because yes, because of my major. Because of my major, because obviously when I started going to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then you know I guess I just find out through two events and online meeting that I've attended. Then I found out that I have these passions for IT, which I'm already taking class for. So yeah, I want to move forward with that, and later on, maybe getting to becoming a network engineer or a software engineer, either one of them. But yeah.
Great. I love that. You can do all of that and more, whatever you want to do. I know that City Tech is a good place certainly to study. Are you in Brooklyn or are you in the Bronx?
No, I'm in Brooklyn.
You're in Brooklyn. So isn't York located up in the Bronx?
No, York is in Queens.
Oh,
Yeah,
Don't
it's
come
2
up that.
hours. 2 hours commute. Like it's in total 4 hours back and forth. That's why I was a little I don't know, but I don't want to say that, but at the same time, this pandemic has helped me in a way because I'm able to get everything done from home and get free time for myself. So I don't have to spend the whole day at school. So yeah.
Understood. Well, I feel like we have a thank you for joining us, Rose. I'm so excited to have you here. Thanks for attending our last event and for taking my invitation to join us.
Yeah.
There's a
Thank
few.
you for inviting me.
Of course. I think we've been hoping to get somebody who's a student either in college or in high school to join the committee. I think it's incredibly important, and let's do a round of introductions, maybe, just because we have 3 new folks joining us here today. We have Rose, we have Dante Arnwine, who is the new district manager for CB9, and we have Sol, who recently connected with me and runs a local nonprofit. We're going to be having another guest join us. We're going to be having Riel Pierblooms, who is the executive director of Trailblazers. Sorry, this all happened after I put together the agenda, so some new stuff happening. Riel wants to talk to us about a program potentially for some youth to get involved with his organization, which is Outward Bound or something like that. And so, yeah, anyway, I've been talking for long enough, and then we'll go through kind of an agenda for our last event and for a little bit of reflection on our most recent event. But with that, maybe it'd be great just to do a quick round of intros for everybody here so that the new folks can get to know us and we can get to know the newer folks. So let's just do name, I guess what you do for work or for school or whatever, and one thing that you enjoy about this neighborhood. So I'll go first. My name is Primo Lasana. I work for an organization called iMentor. I suppose the news is out there. I will also be leaving my role at iMentor to join a new organization called Reading Partners. The organization is not new, but I'll be joining it newly. And one thing I love about this neighborhood, I just love walking down the street in the summer and talking to everybody on the block. I love that it's such a social and verbal neighborhood. I will pass it over to Linda, who's already off mute. So go, Linda, take it away.
Good afternoon. My name is Linda Watson Lord. I live in the area, I just live over on Sullivan Place. I work for the Barbados Consulate General Office. I'm the Cultural and Community Affairs Officer. I'm what my friends call a professional youth leader. So that's me. Kids, young people, I'm there. Jamie?
Thanks, Linda. Hi, guys. I'm Jamie. I also work at iMentor. I manage our community of volunteer mentors. I live on like the Prospect Lefferts Flatbush border, and I also really love the community element. I think that really got me through the pandemic, being able to walk my dog and say hi to everyone at the storefronts. And so now that everyone's a little more out and even though still masked, it's still really nice to be able to chat a little bit longer because it's not freezing outside. So it's nice to see everybody out and about. I'll pass it to Tyla.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tyla. So I live in Tivoli Towers at 49 Crown. So some of you may be familiar with the big 33-story building on the corner. I work at NYU Silver as a higher education administrator. I work in the field placement office. So we organize social work students, MSW students, BSW student field placements. I also attend NYU Steinhardt. I am in my last semester as a graduate student along with Jamie. And we study education policy and advocacy there. And yeah, nice to meet you all. Thanks for joining. I'll pass it to Sol.
Hi, everybody. So I was keeping it off because I'm in transit from my parents' house to Brooklyn. So just letting you know. And Tyler, you are my neighbor. We live like, oh, the other side. We live like a few blocks away from each other. So I'm familiar with where you live. And I'm also trying to get some NYU social work students because I am an NYU social work grad, class of 2000. So great to make that connection with you, Tyler. Yeah, so I have a nonprofit called Soul to Souls, and you see my nickname is Soul. And those of us who are old enough to remember back in the day, Soul to Souls, the music group and everything. So I guess a little bit of it came from my nickname coming from that, but a lot of it is about me making sure that it's all about connections and that our connection should be more than the surface, but more to the soul. So that's what my organization's about. It's focused on youth and young adults, self-development, social emotional development, as well as we create films that express what our young people are going through now, expresses, how they feel, what they want families, people, the community to understand about them and who they are. In addition to college and career prep, leadership development, educational development, all of those things are wrapped up within the year-long programs. So that's pretty much what I do. I've been in Crown Heights for over 20 years. And I think what of you guys, I'm echoing a little bit of what you said, it's the whole, still it feels like a community. I don't feel like we're disconnected, that we don't know each other, we don't talk to our neighbors. It does still, to me, feel like a community. I am in the section that, there is some gentrification going on, but we're still hanging in there strong. And I wanted to be able to become more involved with my community on a deeper level. And that's what basically brought me to joining the community board now. Oh, and I'm planning a great food distribution program and a little bit of a celebration for Juneteenth. So I will be sending all of you guys the information, as well as Primo's been helpful with connecting me with people who's helping me to get information on who to connect with. So it's definitely something I want all of you guys to look out for. I'll be sending flyers, information very soon. I will pass it on to Rashida.
Rashida Sadiq, and the phone just starts to ring. I am an attorney. I have been part of the community, lived in the community board for over 33 years. So I am very familiar with the neighborhood, went to PS 92 and then IS 61. So I've been schooled in the public schools of this neighborhood as well. Came back after college, live still here. My mother's still here, my friends and family. So I love the neighborhood. And just love being part of the community board since 2016, being part of the youth services committee since 2016 as well. And glad to see everyone here, and great to see the sun is out and the people are enjoying being out in the neighborhood again. I will pass it to Valerie.
Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for passing it to me. I'm not sure what we're doing, but my name is Valerie Fleming. I'm a resident of Crown Heights for more than 50 years. I'm recently retired, so I'm not really on no schedule. I'm just jumping in and getting in when I fit in. I'm not remembering all the meetings or what time I'm supposed to be there, what day it is. That's the thing that's got me going now. What day is it, okay? It seems like every day is like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you know? I don't know what happened to those other days, but anyway, involved in the community and the president of my block association, recently appointed to the advisory board of the Brooklyn Union Armory. So I'm keeping myself busy. I'm doing some things. I like to be with the youth. That keeps me young, and it should keep you young too, and know what they're doing, because this is our future. We got to make sure that we know at least what they're thinking about and meet them where they are so that we can help them get to their next level. So I'm not sure what the question was, what we're supposed to be doing, but that's what I just did. So
You nailed it, Valerie. That's perfect. We got some new folks amongst us, so we're just doing a quick round of intros so everybody can get to know everybody. And I will pass it over to Dante next, and we'll keep this train rolling.
all right.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Dante Arnwine. I'm the new district manager for CB9. I appreciate you guys taking the time to let me be on here. I'm trying to bounce committee to committee to actually put faces with names and see, how the committees are doing their work. I've heard very good things about this committee in particular. So I'm very pleased to be with you this evening. And I hope as district manager, I'm able to assist you in any way possible. What you guys are doing for the youth is phenomenal. I have a little bit of background working with youth. I worked at the Department of Homeless Services. At that time, I was on I was helping administer the college prep project, where we helped students who resided in shelter apply to college, and some financial literacy. So I have a little bit of background with youth services, but it's great to see that there are so many people on this committee who have a lot of experience with the youth. And just listening to the first 10 minutes of this Zoom, the energy is there. And I look forward to working with your committee and actually putting that energy to good use. So thank you for having me.
Welcome, Dante. And yes, Valerie is the energy. She gives us life. Riel, thanks for joining us. We're just doing a quick round of intros. We have some new folks joining us. Maybe you just want to introduce yourself, and then we'll circle back around, and I'll have you first on the agenda to talk about the
It's great. First of all, Valerie, you need to attend my meetings just as hype woman. Okay, this unacceptable behavior. I remember the good old EDC days, years ago. It was a lot of fun to be in a committee meeting. So Primo, I'm jealous, and stop making us all look so bad.
But we're together. We're on the committee. And it's all about the energy. We got to have the energy. We got to be peppy.
That's right.
Because be with us if we all arguing. We don't even argue here. Dante, yo.
That's good.
I'm gonna teach you something, okay? This is how it's supposed to go. This is how the committee is supposed to be. And look at our fearless leader, Primo. He's the man of the hour. He has a co-chair somewhere around here. He probably come on in a little while, but Primo is the man. And don't get me to talking. This is supposed to be Real's time. This gentleman here with this beautiful.
Yeah, you're using up my time, Alice.
Okay, I'm on your time. Bye.
Yeah. All right, so Dante is going to put you on every committee, and just for the first 5 minutes of every meeting. All right, my name is Riel. I am a community board member. I don't know how many years now. I've chaired the EDC committee at some point. I've been in the youth committee. I've been in the Europe committee. I run a local nonprofit called Trailblazers. provide day camp and after-school programs to predominantly the kind of surrounding area here, but 5 boroughs as well. I am happy to join you. I'm also riding solo with my kids, so they'll be popping in and out, so I might be a little distracted from time to time, but I'm glad to join you.
Thanks for joining us, Riel. And you know, just to give a little context, Riel stepped into the chair position for the Education and Library Committee, which was basically defunct before, and he has truly revived it to a place where they're executing a lot of great resource distribution and events for the community. So excited to have you here and hear a little bit more about what you have to say. Few folks we haven't heard from yet, just Nick and Talicia and Rose. So I guess I'll call on Nick to go next. Just if yeah, go ahead.
Hello everyone, how's everybody doing? My life has always been a young youth because I've been a teacher for the last 35 years. And I started youth activity from high school. So I'm glad I've been attending a few of the youth committee because when they were, I just joined the board a year and a half ago, even though my first board meeting, the chair used to be Dr. Malcolm Mason. That was the first time I came, who passed away a long time ago. So now I am currently the chair of the Park Recreation and Culture Committee. I just picked that up in the midst, but youth committee is one of the part I'm really interested. It is one of the reasons I like to attend this meeting today because I would love to get together with the youth committee and the Wheels committee for a specific event that would involve the parks, youth, and as many committees as we can. So this is something I would like to come if possible to suggest to the committee. I'm glad he was there because I think I put a call to him this week. I don't know if he ever did get my message. So I wanted to see if we could speak about some idea I have because I know they were working on spelling bees and some of that stuff. So hopefully I'll get a chance so I could share what I like to promote.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. We'll definitely talk about a last event and maybe that'll look like a collaboration of some sort. So
Right.
today. And then Rose or Talicia, you just came off of, you gave us your wonderful face. So take it away.
Hi, everyone. I apologize for not having my camera on. It's a long day and I am getting dinner ready. But Talicia, I was actually born in this community how many years ago, right on Empire and Nostrand. And I currently live on Empire in New York. So not too far from, the roots. What I love about this community is that there's still some of the old meshed with the new that I thoroughly enjoy. So, I feel like it's a good blend and it's, reminiscent of my youth at the same time. So, I feel at home constantly. Nothing is, out of the, norm for me. And what I do, I'm a high school teacher. I've been teaching for 12 years now. And I work with the special needs population primarily. I think that I was the last person, yeah?
Rose is the last person, but Rose, blow us away, take us home.
Hi everyone, my name is Rose. Let me try to set up my camera because I'm. All right, can you guys see me?
That's good. Yep, we can see.
Yes. So my name is Rose. Nice to meet you, everyone. I am a college student. I'm not really sure about my major, so that's why I don't want to put it out there. But yeah, I live in Prosper Park. Next, I think Jamie said it. I live in this area as well. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to meet new person. And one of the things that I always aim for is volunteer and internships. Like if you guys have any type of referrals regarding those stuff. So I would like to volunteer and get into the community and get to know people within the community that I live.
I love it. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who don't know, Rose joined our financial literacy event and then accepted an invitation to join the subcommittee. So to come in and to share with us, Rose, we will definitely have some internship opportunities. Riel might have something for you today, and we will keep our eyes open for opportunities for you. But
All right.
look forward to having you with us. So that's everybody. Thank you for doing a round. I know that it took 20 minutes, but I think it's good just for us all to get to know each other. An always valuable use of time. At this point, I want to turn the floor over to Riel, who tell us for 5 or 10 minutes about the program that you're looking to run and something in collaboration with Medgar Evers, I believe. So Valerie, I feel like Medgar Evers, right? Is that your connect? So Riel's got some stuff for you.
Okay, cool.
All right, great. Just so I'm really here today as the executive director of Trailblazers, not in CB9 capacity, so just by way of background, Trailblazers is the oldest youth-serving nonprofit of its kind in the city. We were founded in 1887 as an outdoor education program. At the time, it served kids in tenement houses who were invited to farms in the country. You've heard of the Fresh Air Fund. This program was called Life's Fresh Air Fund. It was one of the Fresh Air Funds at the time. Eventually became Trailblazers and landed on a site in New Jersey, about 2 hours, an hour and a half out of the city, that we're still on. Landed there in the 30s. It's 1,000 acres, sleepaway camp. Not very traditional. It's really kind of think Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, but more rugged. So kids living on the canvas, preparing to go on the Appalachian Trail or on the Delaware River or on bikes. And so pretty exciting program. Serves about 300 to 400 kids every year, fully on sliding scale and tier schedules, so nobody's turned away due to financial restrictions. So of the 400 kids in a program, the people pay anywhere from 0 to market rate. Literally that. And so a big underpinning of the program has become creating diverse environments to make sure that we literally track people from all walks of life. It's something that I believe in wholeheartedly myself. I'm tired of hearing the annual NPR New York Times report that New York City schools are so segregated. 12 years ago, I said to the board of Trailblazers, isn't it a shame that kids go to public school and have these essentially segregated experiences, that they then come to camp and experience the exact same thing, and we should do something about that. And that's been one of our focal points. It's an ongoing project, but something that we hold very dear. Over the last 6 to 8 years, we've taken the lessons from overnight camp and translated them into an after-school program. In 6 schools, we're in 6 schools. We're supposed to be in 10 schools in September of 2020, and if it wasn't for COVID, we're rebuilding that program now. We translated the sleepaway camp into a day camp that is running in Prospect Park, and this year we'll run in Brooklyn Bridge Park, and we'll run in Morningside Park, we'll run in Riverside Park. So we're really kind of leaning into outside is the best place for kids to be, certainly after a pandemic. And we're now developing a number of leadership opportunities, and one of them is really born out of the the turmoil that the country is going through, and some of the racial tension that we've all experienced, and camps having to start grappling with that as well. If you're not familiar with summer camp, summer camp is still unfortunately a quite kind of privileged industry. It's a $5 billion industry that effectively predominantly serves white people, that's there's no nicer way to put that. That's just the reality, and so a coworker and I, in a brainstorming session months ago, mid-pandemic, to start thinking about, okay, where do we need to play? What do we need to focus on? Came up with an idea that we're trying to pilot this year. the easiest way to explain this is to reference another nonprofit that is in existence. It's called the Posse Foundation. Posse Foundation creates essentially what they call posses, a group of young people who send off or to the same college and then receives support during their college experience. And the idea being that if you have a posse, then you have the kind of support to meet whatever the challenges are. And in a way, going off to college and going to a summer camp, a similar challenge in that sense, if both for kids, but also for young professionals. And what we realize is that, summer camp is just not in New York, that's not necessarily true, but as true, but around the country, camps are not often viewed as a viable career opportunity, and camps in reality are, because they're often just such non-diverse spaces, and not always the most welcoming for people who are not white. And so the long and short of it is that we came up with an idea to essentially replicate the idea of placing teams, we call them trail teams, of young people in camps, and in a small number of camps to start with, in camps who are interested in being a lot more proactive and intentional about diversifying their counselor and their camper audience. So a lot of camps are called to task, and saying, what is your answer in this moment? What are you going to do? And so this is one of our answers, that we want to see whether we can help camps be more intentional about their diversity of their staff, and then support them in the development of how you create a welcoming environment to people from all walks of life and from all cultural backgrounds. And then providing the social, emotional, and coaching support for a trail team for those young people to be successful in a camp environment, and then hopefully see it as a career opportunity and want to develop their skill in camp management, because there's actually tons of jobs in camp management. It's just not something that many people will pursue. So 3 camps are going to pilot this summer. Trailblazers is one of them. And so I'm looking to create a trail team, from this neighborhood. So I'm looking to pull together a team of, 5 young people who are, would come to Trailblazers together, but would get coached alongside with the leadership at Trailblazers to make sure that they have a positive and impactful, powerful experience at camp. And that's the quick pitch. And so I thought of reaching out to Primo, and I'm not sure whether youth committee kind of is slightly younger perhaps in age, because this would have to be 18-year-olds and up. So it could be graduating seniors, so that's what we're looking to do. So that's the quick stick. So questions or thoughts?
Okay, let me start.
Schools. Oh, sorry, Linda, you're going to go ahead.
Okay, go on, Primo. After you.
Which schools you were thinking of targeting? I don't know if you mentioned it. Sorry if I missed it.
No, well, so we're being very specific. So rather than go to kind of various schools and having to put groups together, we're trying to just have a team from Medgar Evers. Medgar Evers students and pitch there and attract 5 kids. Another group is we're working with a university in Chicago, and so we're trying to attract a trail team from there. And ultimately, kind of the long-term goal is to source trail teams like that from around the country with specific college or university partnerships. And so so that's the idea we're testing out. So the first stop here is to draw a trail team either from Medgar Evers or certainly directly from this community.
Got it. Valerie, do you want to get in there, or Linda, you wanted to speak as well? Sorry.
Linda, go first.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go second.
Okay, I think Ray answered my first question in the teams, right? I like that he's taking a set of people from the same environment, the same place. They might know each other. They're more comfortable with each other. But would you also be looking at any of the youth groups in our area, or not this time?
Well, the youth groups tend to, it depends on the age, but we do want to be focused in our efforts. So rather than spread ourselves too thin, we wanted to start with with kind of a one-stop shop, so to speak. So the initial goal is to see if we can establish or link it up with either one community or one group or one college, and then take it from there.
Okay.
And we do need to focus 18 years and up.
And that's
Actually, I'm talking about young adults. When sorry,
right.
Young
Sure.
adults,
Yeah.
not youth.
Yeah, and so and I certainly would very gladly would take recommendations from groups that you feel I should approach.
I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And I can give anybody Riel's email address after this. The chat is disabled today. Sorry, that's a larger community board issue. It's not specifically for this meeting. Valerie.
Hi, so my question was, you said 18 and up, 18 and to what age group are you talking about?
There's really no limit. The goal would be just to put cohesive teams together, but it doesn't have to be only 18-year-olds. In fact, an age mix I think is actually more interesting, right? Just and to have some diversity in that sense as well. And so 18, really just 18 and up. And anybody interested in having this kind of an employment experience that then comes with the kind of support that hopefully sets them up for a career in this direction.
And my second question is, how many hours, how long is this opportunity, and what's the expectation?
Great. I should have led with that. So it's a camp job, which means it is a whole summer, right? Because camps operate this summer. They typically operate on stipends there and room and board, because these are all sleepaway camps. So that's another thing. Day camps tend to be more diverse, certainly in the city, tend to be more diverse in their staffing patterns. Sleepaway camps do not. So what I spoke about earlier about kind of the lack of diversity is largely a problem in the sleepaway camps. And some of it, of course, is geography, right? Where areas just might not be as diverse around the country, and that's entirely possible. But that's certainly not the only reason. Sleepaway camps in particular. So we're talking about 3 sleepaway camps, and that means you're gone for essentially 9 weeks. It's structured in a way where, we entice the camps, so where the camps essentially pay a placement fee to Trail Team, and then Trail Team, and in this case Trailblazers, raises the additional money to make sure that each one of the staff members gets paid the same market rate that anybody else in camp would get paid for the same position.
Thank you.
Dante.
Thanks. I just want to say I love the program. I'm an Eagle Scout. I've hiked the AT. I've done it also. I love the program. My question is, so what's the specific, is there a specific number of people that you're trying to get?
5. Trail Team is 5. Yep, team of 5.
5. Okay. So what if you have overwhelming interest? Like, how do you narrow it down to the 5 that you're looking for?
Yeah, well, part of it is that the program will include initial training experiences that include some time away for kind of mini experience. Because I can tell you from experience, we have staff members every year who sign up, think it's great, they get interviewed, show up at camp. 24 hours later, it's like, yeah, this is not for me, right? And so that's one. And certainly, I would love to have the luxury problem of having to select further. And I think, I want to be clear, right? Selection would not be on experience. It would not be on credentials. It would not be on age. It would not be on ability to pay. None of that. But none of that's real. It would be really largely be on genuine interest in the program, and so we would have to select for that. And again, staffing for camps is a huge challenge at the moment. And this is not a Trailblazers issue. This is a kind of camp on the Eastern Seaboard. I speak to many directors. Everybody is kind of hustling to get their camps filled, and it's not easy. So which is to say, if we would end up with an overwhelming response, there are camps where you can be placed because camps are looking. And of course, I'm sorry, and I'll say this, the point for us is that we hope is that, it's the same kind of pay, it's additional development, and it's additional support. And so what we hope for is really make the experience, kind of raise it to the awareness of people who otherwise might have said, you know what, that's not me. I'm not going to be interested in that. But in this format, perhaps it is me.
You're right, Real. I'm involved in my church camp. We have a camp at Camp Wolf, right, Wading River. And you're right, we are running into stuff like that. But we're hoping that because last year kids did get the opportunity to go away and to be out, that might be a little advantage. So that might help you, be able. So Dante, we might have enough people.
Plenty of camps.
So Riel, all you need from us is a connect to a school. In this case, Medgar Evers. I would say, like, I think we have a connection to Medgar Evers. Does anybody have a relationship with Medgar Evers here?
Well, I can talk to some of the people that are there because they have the new president now. So I haven't had an opportunity to meet with her, but I still know some of the old people that are there. And I can maybe, make a few phone calls and see if I could disconnect them with Rial and, he can discuss whatever. So I'll follow up actually maybe tomorrow to see if some of the same people are still there. But I do know that there's a new president, and this might be something that she might be interested in.
That's great. Yeah, and as per usual, right? The reason I go this route is because it's always better to have a connection than just to kind of working cold into the Office of Student Opportunities or anything like that. I think people are generally overwhelmed with messages and outreach, and so having a connect is always helpful. Thank you, Valerie.
Okay, no problem.
Awesome. And Valerie, let me know in Riel where it's helpful for me to connect you to via email or whatever the thing is. Valerie, I have the flyer for the program if that's helpful to have in as you had. And I'm happy to step in.
Yeah. Yeah. If you could send that around, then please share my email address. Contact information is on there as well. And if Linda, anybody else on the committee has any other suggestions of organizations that I should speak to, and look, we're also generally hiring. Right, we're hiring. We have to hire 100 counselors for a day camp. Another 40 or so for a sleepaway camp. So there's lots of opportunities. Our pay rates are really kind of standard rates for camps. And I should repeat again, the room and board is not always beneficial if you're already living at home and mom is paying your food and your board, right? But for some people it is advantageous. And on the day camp side, we raised our rates to make sure that we're more competitive and that we can entice folks to come out and take a shot at leading youth. So there's lots of employment opportunity. Trailblazers.org.
Great, Rose. I hope you're listening. We can make a connection for you here as well. And so that is really fantastic, Riel. We're going to make sure to share your information widely with the committee. And if it doesn't work out at Medgar Evers, like maybe let's think about a different school. I know Talicia is pretty influential at her school in the neighborhood. And then we have some other.
That's great.
So
that's great.
Keep the conversation going, Jamie.
Sorry, just one thought. I am like a lifelong sleepaway camper. I mean, I don't go anymore, but I did for a very long time. And I wonder if have you ever heard of the organization called the Camp Connection?
You're on mute, Riel.
Sorry, yes, I'm familiar with them. We had, honestly, a funny thing, I didn't consider them for this, but perhaps that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they're sort of like the overarching group that gets all of the kids to whatever sleepaway camp best fits their, I don't know, like,
they do placement, right?
Yeah, they do placement. And so they're definitely the largest organization and they oversee a ton of the sleepaway camps on like the East Coast. And so that would probably be a good alignment for you.
Awesome. Sol, I saw that you wanted to jump in and say something.
Yeah, I also do have, some small connect. I used to be an adjunct at Medgar. So if there is a way that I could support, I definitely will, but I'm also thinking of one of the interns that I have. She's going to be graduating and finishing up my program at the end of June. So she might be someone I'm going to talk to her about your program to see if it's something she'll be interested in doing over the summer. So that's definitely something, I can do.
That's great. Thank
Love
you.
it.
That's wonderful.
Look how rich this network is. And then Jamie and I can also put this in front of the iMentor students too, because we're serving 4,000 kids in New York. So let's
Yep.
get a proper follow-up email going. Dante?
I was just going to say, being the new district manager, a lot of people want to schedule meetings with me. So if I have to use that to get you into Medgars and maybe meet the president or something like that, please use me.
That's
use
great.
me as a resource.
There it is. I love it.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'll follow up, Primo, with everybody else. Thank you so much for giving me some time. I have to go and read some books with my kids.
Parent. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Wills, before you go, I would love
Yeah.
to have a conversation with you because you want chance to see what I'm going to propose. At your earlier convenience, you could either send me an email or give him a call so we can talk.
All right.
Okay.
I'll shoot you an email later tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Almanor.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Okay, lovely. We have a bit left in the agenda. In the interest of time, because it's 7:43, we had a very rich discussion, which I love, and lots of moving pieces, lots of good stuff happening. I think we can skip the kind of reflection of the last event. I can give you a 2-minute overview of kind of some of the big takeaways. I know everybody wasn't able to make it. I'll just give you the 2-minute overview. We had 2 folks come and open the panel. We only had about 12 kids come. It ended up being on like a really nice night. And so I think that like the weather was tough, as like it was one of the first nice evenings. We ended up with something like 35 RSVPs, which was strong, and then ended up getting kind of cut in half. So obviously attendance can always go up. I get that people are over Zoom fatigue, but the kids that did come, the young people that did join, had a lot of really great questions, a lot of interesting thoughts that they shared. It was really active in the chat. Fred, the chairman of CB9, came and came to the event. Then we did the panel with a restaurant owner in the community, as well as with, I'm blanking on her name now, Shanae at the Nets, and they talked about their careers, and I think that was a good way to open up. And then we did a resume thing, and then we did a financial literacy thing, all of which was really great. The kids were kind of blown away. I think if anything, the big takeaway and the feedback was like, there was too much that we did with the time, and we could have probably broken it up into separate events. So like we had, 3 kind of separate pieces, which each could have been their own event. And then Sol and I think, felt similarly about this, which was the kids got talked at a lot instead of kind of engaging in the conversation more. It's kind of the opposite of the youth speak out, which was like led by youth, and then like youth just did all of the talking. Here it was more adults kind of presenting to the youth. So it was a little bit less engaging, I would say. But let me stop talking. Rose, do you have anything that you wanted to share about the event from your vantage point as a participant?
Yes, it was it was a really good event. That was probably the first one that I participated with you guys, and I have learned a bunch of informations to this event. One of the things that I learned is Acorn. Like, I've never heard of it, and now I'm trying to. Well, I've looked into it, and I signed up for an account. So I start, investing, which was one of the advice that they were giving us as youth. Like, start as we're never too young to start. So it was like the overhaul was good. I just wish we had well, I know what we had in terms of the interview, the cover letters, what else? The resume tips, they were really good, but I just wish we had more stuff regarding, I don't want to say financial literacy in a sense, in terms of investing, trading, or what are the what we can do with the stock market as a youth. and how we can save our money, those type of, those tip within money. So yeah.
That's really helpful feedback, and I'm so glad that you started investing. If somebody coming out of that event says my big takeaway was you're never too young to start investing and saving, then I'm a very happy camper. And I think you're right. I think we could do more focus on kind of harder investing tips and just do a session just about that, investing and saving and how to get involved. So we will keep that on the radar for our program next year. Thank you so much for giving that feedback. It's so rich and so helpful. Does anybody else want to share any thoughts? Anybody who was there have anything that they felt was missed? If not, I just want to say thank you to everybody who lent a hand in creating the event and pulling it off. Like Valerie said, and like Dante said, the youth committee is growing in esteem in the general board meetings. We're getting a lot of shine, which I think we can always do better, that's for sure. But I think people are recognizing the level of work and execution, and the fact that we meet not just to talk, but to plan events and then execute those events. There is a product to our meetings. And I think for a group that only meets once a month, it's really impressive. And so I just want to thank folks for volunteering their time and their energy to make sure that these things are possible. We brought together a lot of people for the last event. We had 5 outside guests come and present, which is a really remarkable number to bring into the community and to bear on the youth in the community. So well done. Which I think is a good segue into our next conversation, which is really about like, what should we do? What do we want to do before the end of this financial year? I'd say like we can do it whenever we want to. But the question is, what do we want to do and when do we want to do it and what do we want it to look like? And if we're up for it, period. I know we've done 2 events already and it's been tiring, but do folks want to do one final event? I think that's something that we had agreed to earlier, but I always want to check back in and not make the assumption. So I will leave it to the group to start batting around some ideas. So I'd love to hear yes, no, are you for it? And if you're for it, what's something you might like to see?
I'm for, doing some more events. I just wanted to know, does it mean that you guys don't, or like we don't do anything during the summer months and then we're starting back in the fall? I don't really know the time frames and things like that.
Yeah, to be honest, rules are meant to be broken and reinvented. This committee has operated under the assumption that like we stop working in the summer in the past. I've never understood why. I think a little bit of the construct, people sign up for XYZ amount of time. The community board does have like a financial year, and Dante, correct me if I'm wrong, it ends in June 30th, but it doesn't really matter because we don't get any money anyway. So we might as well just do whatever we want to do. Dante, am I fine in that assumption that we can just execute whatever we want to?
I will say this. I'm in the process of reviewing the budget. What I would recommend is dream big.
Oh yeah.
That's what I would recommend. I am willing to move money accordingly to ensure that committees are doing good work, right?
Are you saying that you can move, if we held an event in August, you could put money aside for it before June 30th? Is that what you're saying?
So one thing I have to find out is this from OMB is if I were to allocate money to an event for you, I need to know, does that event need to happen before the end of the fiscal year? Or can we just allocate and then you do it next year? Now, I'm
gonna just get the money from the next financial year anyway?
Well, see, that's the thing. Depending on how much money we actually have toward the end of this year, which I think if you guys did an event, we would be okay. We could do it this year. It just like really, if you guys put together something, you show me the finances, show me what you need. I will do my due diligence working with Mia and working with OMB to ensure that we can purchase it all. And then, something like for example, you guys might want to do like a backpack drive or something, or a back to school event with another committee. If we needed to buy like, I don't know, 200 backpacks, yeah, sure, they might not be used until August, but we might be able to, you know.
That's helpful. I appreciate that. Yeah, so buying materials in advance is something that we could definitely do before June 30th. That makes sense. Thank you for that. So Sol, the short answer to your question is we can do whatever we want, whenever we want to. The question is whether we're gonna be able to find funding for it, which is a question we can answer down the road. Yeah, fair?
Yeah,
Great.
that's fair. Yeah, but you know, for me personally, and I feel like for me to be able to do my job efficiently, if you can come up with a proposal the earlier,
yeah,
that helps me, right? Because you know, if there's other committees that aren't doing anything, you know, maybe we can move some money from here to there, you know. So
yeah. Okay, that's helpful. That's great. We'll keep that in mind as we continue our discussion. Nick,
Can I say
you may have
something?
your-
It's within that vein I wanted to talk, because what I was thinking about is to put together with the youth committee and create a CB9 field day at one of the parks, the smaller parks, where we could include different activity, being sports activity, musical, poetry, and all that stuff. I know there is the Boys and Girls High School field that's next to Kingsbrook Hospital. So that's why I wanted to talk to the committee to see if we could sit together and plan something that would be CB9 field days. We get the youth from K to 12 to come in doing some kind of stuff, be it a one-day tennis sports tournament of whatever sport we can think about, a battle of the bands or something like that for local youth bands and stuff like that, a poetry slam and so on and so forth. And then you could have the rest of the different committee have tables to present exactly who they are and what they are, and get the community to go there and find what CB9 is up to.
Thanks for the idea, Nick. I kind of love it, but let's keep going around, get some more ideas. I think there's a great opportunity for collaboration with what you just mentioned. But
Right.
Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, that's sort of exactly what I was thinking too. I think my question was like, what are we allowed to do in terms of like COVID related safety concerns? But I definitely agree. I think like our last event was a little bit lighter because it's starting to get nice. People are over Zoom. And I feel like we have an opportunity to really be able to capitalize on the fact that like everyone wants to be outside right now. We can get in front of a lot of kids. We can definitely table, bring out some professionals, even to just, like you said, sit at tables and they're there and kids sort of cycle through and can come throughout, I don't know, like a couple hours of a Saturday or Sunday. I think that would be awesome. And it wouldn't, like we could be distanced and all that if we're allowed to do that kind of thing. Feels like it could be pretty low lift.
Support that too, because I was thinking that we would have a lighter event, right? And in my mind, I was like, you know, like Mega Everest College, they got like a nice park behind there. Was where, you know, maybe because of COVID, we might not be able to use a bigger park because it might get a little bit too out of hand. And if we had something like enclosing where we could gather the kids, the young people, and have some talent show, fun. You know, real fun. I mean, we for the year we had two things and it was like business, but just give them a time to get out, get some fresh air for the young people. So Nick, you're really all thinking around the same thing. It's time to have some fun.
Yes, I'm glad I'm getting some echo.
And you're getting some yeses, Nick. Valerie, tell us what you're thinking. I don't know what your face means. I don't know what it means. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea for us to be able to go outside and to do something to get the students involved, because the mayor and the governor, they said that we're open for business July 1st, kind of sort of, you know.
Right.
So maybe this could be something that we can do to encourage the young people that participated in our events to come together to see us now and to see what we could do, and invite some heavy hitters that would draw them to the event. Because I'm not sure when she said Medgar Evers College where you're talking about on the property, because I know that they're doing a lot of construction over here still. So I'm not sure where the parking lot was, that backside we used to go in the auditorium. There's a lot of construction going on, so I'm not sure when they're gonna finish that part off.
Okay,
But that's just a, that's just something, that's just one spot. But there are lots of places here in the area in which we can do something that the young people might enjoy, to get them to come out. Maybe we can have some people to table, provide information. I don't know if we could do some little races or something fun that they can engage in, and just, it seems like Jamie, she looks like she gets out there and does a few things. I'm good at the table signing the folk in. So whatever y'all do, it's good with me. I can work with it.
I love that.
Primo, I gotta leave.
Yeah.
Another meeting.
Thank you for joining us, Linda. I'll send you some details about kind of what we land on in terms of a date and some next steps. Okay.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Sorry, I have to go.
That's okay.
Right. I was thinking with the field day, like I like the idea of maybe if we doing like one thing of like maybe something in July, and then the field day in July, and then the food dish, I'm saying food dish on my mind. What was the last thing we said? The back to school package and stuff for August. But I was thinking to put a spin on the field day aspect of it, and like make it like a parent and kids kind of thing. So like have it where the kids are competing against adults, their families, have adults going up against them, and just to make it more of a family event. Whereas we're driving, like we've all been in the house together, we're driving each other crazy, but like this is the day that we can have fun and compete with each other, and then have it be some things maybe against each other, but other things the parent and the child are competing with against another parent and child, and making it more of like just a family oriented event.
Sounds great. Because also I'm thinking in terms of funding, if we could involve the business development committee, if we could get local sponsorship from business in the community. They could bring like restaurants could come and bring some of their food as part of that. So it could be a way for them to earn some money. In addition, because they are so limited in how much they can serve within their establishment. So I could see this as a combination of many different committees to pull together something like that and have those different aspects. So even if it's not possible in July and August, because the same question I had, I could not understand why we are closed for 2 months. If it is so, even this is something we could even plan in like the 2nd or 3rd week of September.
Yeah, I like that. I was actually thinking like just to like reduce lift on us not having to do 2 events. We could just do a field day in either late August or early September and just give away backpacks as well at that event. We can just kind of get the funding for like some materials now. Maybe Dante can work his wizardry, get us we can buy some materials before June 30th and then have them to give away. And if we have more time, we will need time to pull this off. We can get the right organizations there. We can get some food in kind of as well. And I think we could definitely pull that off. It's just, August is only 3 months away. And so, the more time we have, I think the better to execute on this. And let's do it. Are we all, you guys down to do something in August or early September?
I love the idea.
It sounds good.
Sounds good.
And that's the reason I wanted to speak to Wheels, because they do a book giveaway.
Yes.
And that could be part of that. So they could
It gives us some time to connect with the Parks Committee. It gives us some time to connect with the Youth Education Committee and the Library Committee. We could have books, we could have backpacks, we could have lots of stuff. I am connecting on Tuesday with the youth lead for Brooklyn Museum as well. They can.
Oh, okay. Well,
They can
I was
just-
gonna, that was my next thought about those institutions. So keep
So,
going.
I think if we can lock in a date tonight, we can just start to drive towards having conversations with partners and stuff. See what kind of goodies and what kind of people we can get at this event. And then group that I'm thinking about is the Botanic Gardens also, and seeing if
Okay.
the gardens
And
can.
even the Prospect Park Alliance, so they're gonna be in
Prospect
our
Park
meeting.
Alliance. Nick, you must know
They're-
the Prospect Park Alliance, right?
They're gonna be in our meeting next week, and that's one of the things I already made a contact with them.
All right, good. So you have a contact and we can get that going.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay, let's talk date, since it feels like, okay. Okay, look, Jamie has made a good suggestion. With Jamie, you can share it. Go ahead.
Sorry, there's no chat. I would have been blowing up the chat. My mind is going right now. So I want to make sure that like we don't get screwed out of any dates if we need permits or if we need to rent out space. So maybe we pick
Exactly.
like top 2 dates that work for everybody in like August, September, and then we can go from there and like take them to the other committees and finalize all that stuff.
Great. Let's do that. Let's pick 2 dates. I'm gonna lean on my youth, workers, teachers. Talicia, what do you think would work for folks for students in August, September, as you kind of look at your calendar?
I would say, so the school calendar actually just came out. And instructional days start a little bit later. They actually start a whole week after Labor Day, as opposed to like that Thursday. So I think that sometime that week would be a good time because families are coming back from vacation and like getting, into the groove of school. The weather is still, warm, but not like scorching. I think that would be a good time to get everybody like back into the swing of things.
So that's the week of the 7th, 8th, 9th. Correct?
September?
Of September.
September, Labor Day is on the 6th.
Yeah.
Yes. Rosh
So
Hashanah.
you're looking at one on the 9th or the 10th the 9th of September, 8th, 9th of 10th September, in that area.
Yeah, and I think that, depending on, like people's work schedule and
weekend,
actually be working the event, but maybe it could be a weekday also. That might free up even more space.
Yeah. Selfishly, I'll be gone that weekend. I have a trip planned. But maybe we pick one day during the week and one day during the weekend. And if I can't be there, y'all can send me pictures.
I feel like we might need to do a weekend if we want to get all the things that we want to do. A weekday might be hard.
Yeah.
When are you away?
The weekend of the 10th, 11th, 12th.
Is the 1st and 2nd? Is that
That's
Labor
Labor
Day?
Day, that's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, it's Labor Day weekend. We'd have to look at the previous weekend of August.
Yes,
August-
I was about to
August-
say that. What about
August the 20th? Yeah.
August 29th?
Yeah, why don't we just offer like 2 weekend days? One is
Yeah.
August 29th and one is September 10th or whatever, September 11th. What's better, Saturday or Sunday? Saturday, I guess. Sunday? I don't know.
Maybe give both 28, 29.
Sunday.
Sunday may be
Sunday.
better. Sunday may be better because of religious observance.
Yeah.
Sunday would be better because of religious observance?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah, I think the same too.
All right, so then why don't we offer Sunday, the 29th and Sunday, the 11th or 12th rather? And we'll see what happens.
This may just be my interest, but you should also keep in mind that the NFL season will be back. People will want to watch their Giants or Jets.
TiVo it.
We could wrap up by like.
I can see if they
4.
were winning though.
We could
Also,
probably,
remember-
We could
Sorry.
start kind of early. We could probably do like a 12 to 4 thing and get people back in front of
Exactly.
TVs. You know,
I was
nobody,
gonna
nobody
say
wants to
just-
be out on a Sunday night.
That's also, you know, church. The parents and stuff may be going to church in the morning. So if we're doing, you have to account for that on a Sunday as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering why Sunday is better than Saturday.
We maybe want to offer like the Saturday and Sunday for both weekends and then see what the other committees can do. Or like what works best for whatever spaces we want also, because
It's the
Saturday.
weekend. It's so far out. I don't see any harm in offering 4 dates for now. It's just 2 weekends really, and asking kind of, and we can send out some feelers. So why don't we just do that for now? And I will send some feelers next week. Who do we want to reach out to? I'm gonna run it by the museum tomorrow. I don't know what they're gonna be able to offer this, but maybe something.
Never hurt to ask.
So first of all, I guess we need to know what this experience is going to look like. We said we're going to have a field day. So what is the field day? What does that include? Do you have to have, if we're going to be on these properties, do you have to have insurance in case something happens and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. So what does our event look like? Are we just going to do like a sack race a little bit? Or are people riding their bicycles? Or they running? What are we looking at we feel like we want to do?
I think we're gonna find that out through conversation. I think if we talk to institutions, they're gonna let us know what's acceptable and what isn't on certain grounds and stuff. And I'll connect with Dante a little bit as well, just to check on like what the CB9 insurance situation is. But I would say in my imagination, it's kind of everything we've described, a few activities, light competitive or team activities, some food, some stuff giveaway, and some representation from local institutions talking about opportunities for youth to get involved.
Cool, cool, cool.
Something I wanted to bring up, I know.
Hospitals and everything else, we could even get the health committee involved also.
We can. Talicia, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, I know in the past, we talked about trying to zero in on an age group, right? Like to see where our focus is gonna kind of, lend itself. So I don't know if that's something we should keep in mind while we're thinking about this event.
Sorry, one more time.
So I know that we said like in thinking about events for the community board, we wanted it to be more targeted towards the age group that we wanted to pull in throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that we've been looking primarily at like high school up to college. So is that something that we should keep in mind for this event? Are we targeting that age group, or is this just a family event?
It's a good question. It's a philosophical question for us to answer. I would.
I think it should be family event. So you could involve both the education committee for the younger kids. At the same time, you should have younger kids activity and then high school level kids activities.
Who's gonna be watching?
I'm a little inclined to try to stay true to our nature, but to also open up the option of bring your siblings, bring your parents, bring your family members. To like primarily target high school to college age kids, but also make it clear that they're welcome to bring their family members. I don't know how that feels to other people.
Yeah, like I just want to make sure that like if we are supplying backpacks, like whatever we're putting in them, what they look like it is geared towards that older age group.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because, we'd have to get supplies for such a wide range of kids. We'd have to get so many different sizes, et cetera. And then when we think about like the tables that we're going to have there to like have them for K through 12 is complicated. So I think, we should kind of stay true to our age group, but also make it clear that they're welcome to bring little kids, their family members, et cetera. Is that cool?
Can't tell if Rose is raising her hand or not.
I think Rose has had her hand raised for a while.
My bad. I because I wanted to talk, well, I already talked, but my bad. I just put it down. Thank you.
No worries, Rose. We want to invite you if you ever do have anything to share. Hop off mute. Okay, we're talking about who we want to engage for this. So I feel like Brooklyn Museum's easy. I think Trailblazers, honestly, we just talked to. They obviously have experience in this and a lot of kids that they're talking to. Nick, we need to talk to your committee, the Parks Committee, right?
Mhm.
We
Well, I'm gonna talk to Bill, he said, to Will's probably later today or tomorrow.
okay.
So, mhm.
Got to talk to Dante.
Mhm.
Who else?
Well, I'm glad he's here because I was gonna talk to him about it. So he's getting it firsthand.
Verlene, thanks for joining us. Did you want to share something? Nope. That's cool. So who else do we feel like we might want to reach out to here?
Maybe CB9 vendors. So like food spots, like to Nick's point.
Yep. Cool. I need to talk probably to Fred and
Debbie,
yeah, to
Debbie,
Debbie.
Debbie Timothy.
Yeah, that's right. Fred, Debbie, and what's his name? Who's the co-chair
For
for the
For the-
for the community board?
Warren.
Warren, thanks. Anybody else? Like what other? Oh, we should talk to the Prospect Park Alliance, right? Maybe they can just give us space. Maybe we could get like the boathouse or something.
Well, okay, I was trying to suggest to keep it in a much more confined space. That's why I suggested we use the Boys and Girls High School field on Troy Avenue behind the Jack Robinson School next to the Kingsbrook Jewish.
Okay,
I don't know if you guys know that space. I think that's part of the Parks Department or the high school. Because that's one of the open.
I think it would be
spaces.
nice to do it in a park. Personally, I think it would be nice to be able to do it in a park, anywhere that we could also have bathrooms and stuff too, just to celebrate the fact that we're.
No, because that is a field itself. It's a football field that's self-contained. That
Gotcha.
have bathroom, that have stands, that have all kind of stuff on there. I
Okay.
mean,
Let's ask them.
mhm. So I
Let's-
gotta find out who's in charge of that and I can do that, but
Perfect.
But-
Great.
not that maybe someone Prospect had boathouse or something. It's field that you
Yeah.
want the kids to go out there to be able to run and play around.
Summer weekends are going to be hard to find space, so I think
Right.
we should talk to lots of different people and just see what availability is instead of talking to one person at a time. So I will note that for you, Nick. Maybe you can make an intro to me to Prospect Park Alliance at some point, and I can chat with.
Yes, I'm supposed to be meeting with them next week, so I'll ask them.
Perfect.
next.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to the Botanic Gardens too, just why not?
Mhm.
I know somebody who works there. Any other spaces, places, vendors that we need to chat with? I think once we have a space, the rest comes together.
Right.
You said you're talking to the Brooklyn Museum,
Yeah,
even if like we could use their outdoor space or the library outdoor space.
what out, oh, you mean like in front of like the promenade or whatever? Yeah, less of a playtime situation, but it's a
Yeah.
pretty nice. I mean, and maybe we could do something inside with them too. We'll see.
And maybe some companies or organizations that are looking for interns or something, like just to have them table.
Yep. Yep. We can definitely do Kingsborough. I think once we have a weekend and we have a space, then we can reach out to all of those next. So like, let's make it our goal to have a space and a date picked by the time we meet on early June. And then from there, we have 2 months really to plan the event itself. Does that sound good to everybody? It's 8:16. I know it's, I like to try to wrap these meetings up in an hour. Thank you for sticking around a little bit longer. I don't want to end the conversation if anybody has anything else to say, but I also want to give you your night back.
Yeah, thank you for everything. I think it's a great meeting. The only thing I did want to just mention is I am looking for a program coordinator, part-time program coordinator for my my organization. So if there's any suggestions or people that you know are looking for something, that would be great to get a connect on that.
Hi, Saul. This is Dante. Do you have like a job description?
I do.
So if you want to, just send it over to the community board office, and then we can put that in our weekly newsletter.
Okay, wonderful. I'll definitely do that.
CC me on that, Soul, so I have it, and I'll keep it
Okay.
in mind.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you for another lovely meeting. I look forward to these always. Lots of really great ideas. I'm so glad we're able to reach a consensus and drive towards our next and final for this year. Excellent event. One last thing that I do want to mention as it occurs to me is the community board itself, for anybody who's not on the community board, is going to start a recruitment process of new agents, this is the wrong word, members for the coming year. So if anybody's interested or wants to learn more, wants to hear about what it's like to be on the community board proper, shoot me an email, and I'm happy to chat with you about it. Yeah. So
yes, I would definitely want to know about that. But also, one of the things I've experienced a couple times is, I know that I want to be a part for sure of this committee and the general body, but there's been a couple times where I've tried to join in on meetings, like the last general body meeting, I couldn't get in because they said the meeting IDs are changed. And then I don't have emails coming, I don't think, from this committee or various committees if changes are happening. So how do we make sure that we're like kept in the loop? Because I've missed a couple of meetings simply because they said the meeting ID doesn't work.
me and Dante will make sure that that is no longer a problem for you. So thank you for flagging it for us. It's hard. Sometimes we use the listserv from our last meeting to generate for the next meeting, but Dante and I will pay closer attention to making sure that you're on future emails.
How about the website? I don't know if the website has the listing of the meeting.
The website should.
Yeah, but it's not updated. So when I go in to use it, it's telling me that link no longer works.
Got it. Well, you have my email. I can always give you the most updated information if you don't get it, but I'll make sure to include you on future emails, Soul. So thanks for flagging that for us. Michael Liebert, another guest star of the board, has joined us at the final moment. Michael, we were just wrapping up our meeting, but if there's anything that you wanted to add, Michael has been a longtime board member and a great member of the community. He does a lot for people in Brooklyn, and just wanted to open it up if you had anything you wanted to say.
No, but thank you, Primo. I don't have anything to say besides Dante, welcome to Community Board 9. Big fan of yours and best of luck as you transition into this new role. I just came off for another meeting, so I wanted to chime in here just to make sure I knew what was going on. So I'll catch up with you later, Primo, on that. But thanks for the opportunity. And Dante, great start, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And
welcome.
Michael, we were just in the midst of kind of wrapping up our conversation. We're planning a final event for August. We're thinking about doing a field day with like a lot of vendors and stuff like that. So maybe you and I could talk a little bit more about that, since I know you're looped in with Brick and like everything like in a few different companies in the community, right?
Sure, please give me a call.
Awesome, will do. Fantastic. I'm adding you to my follow-up list for this. Thanks for joining us, and to everybody, have a good night. And we will see you on the next first Tuesday in May, in June. And I will have a location solidified by then for our field day, so we can drive towards it. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night. Great to see you all.
Thank you, Primo.
Thank you, Mr. Primo. All right.
Bye,
How you doing, Mike?
Yeah.